This is Thomas Adrianson with NCSI, and today we're going to talk about how to auto-link an external authentication provider, such as Entra or Okta, to newly created users in Ivanti Neurons for ITSM. You'll need administrator access to the tool in order to do this. So we're going to start by going to the authentication provider that you have built out, in this case, Entra. We need the record ID of this authentication provider. So in order to do that, we're going to need to build a quick action to show us that rec ID. Alternatively, you can unhide the rec ID as a field and put it on the form and show it to admins, but it's quicker to just create an action. So in your action menu, go to create more actions, create a new action. This is going to be an update object. We're going to call it get rec ID. And we're going to select rec ID, and then we're just going to have a prompt pull this up. And we're only going to publish this action to administrators. Administrators is the only role that has access to the authentication provider workspace anyway. Once we have that, we're going to refresh our tenant, go back to authentication provider, click the authentication provider that we want, and that prompt is going to pull up and just give you the rec ID. So we're going to copy this. And then we are going to go to the employee business object. And we're going to create a new trigger called employee record created, or whatever it is that you would like to call it. And it's going to be on insert. We are going to do a new composite action. And the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to run an update object to enable the external authentication checkbox. And in your list of fields here, you're going to be looking for the field called is imported. Okay, we're going to set that to true. And save that. And then the next action that you're going to do is insert a child object. This is where we're going to link our authentication provider. Okay, the relationship that you're going to select is FRS _ external login ASOS profile employee. There you go. In the auth provider field, you're going to paste that rec ID that we got. And then in the login field, you're going to use whatever value that they use to log into Entra or Okta. So if they use their email address, you're going to reference the primary email address from their employee record. If they use their network login ID, you're going to reference the login ID, so on and so forth. In this case, we're going to be using primary email. And you're going to save that. And so when a new record is created, we should see that this enable external auth checkbox is checked. It should link that external authentication provider here and using the primary email field as a login ID to it. So let's go ahead and do a new employee. And then once we save this, we're going to see that Enable External Auth is checked, and using the primary email address, we've linked to the Entra SSO Authentication Provider. Now that trigger is only going to work for new records that are created. So if you have existing users and you just want a quick action to quickly link that, you can build those same steps as a quick action on the employee business object. So on the employee object, you can go to Action menu, Edit Actions. You can create a new object, Update Object. We're going to call this Link Entra SSO. And is imported or is external auth. We're going to set that to true. This is doing essentially the same thing that trigger did. And we're going to publish this to admin and maybe service desk manager. And then you're going to append an action. And again, we're going to do the insert child object, where we're going to link Authentication Provider. This label is actually going to be Enable External Auth. And then we're going to look for our same relationship, get our auth provider. And save that. Okay, so this test user has it, but maybe this test user does not. And we want to go ahead and use our link Entra SSO, quick action. And that will enable it and apply the Entra SSO. Now you can do that individually on the record, or from the list view, you could show everybody who doesn't have external auth by creating a search and then shift clicking and running that action against all of them. That quick action might look that search might look something like this. You do a new search, and then in this first box, you'll do is related to 0, and we'd find that same relationship. External login via FRS external login associate profile. Right, this is going to show us all of the accounts that don't have any external authorization accounts linked to them. I would be able to select all these and then run that quick action to apply it to all of those at the same time. And that is how you can quickly and automatically apply an external authentication provider to your newly created and existing employee records. Thanks for watching. If this was helpful, please like and subscribe for more useful tips from NCSI.